Hello friends, and welcome to the Crypto Stacker channel. My name is Dean. If you're watching my videos for the first time, please know I only make them for entertainment, education, and for community building in the crypto space. So please do your own research before investing in this or in any project. Friends, it has been a crazy week for crypto, and it's been maybe a little even crazier week for the Terrarium project, for better or for worse. And so today I'm going to weigh in on that a little bit, just share with you some of my thoughts and ideas, some of my personal beliefs, and some of my experiences from the past. Hopefully they'll help some of you. They certainly have helped me. This particular week in general, I'm relatively calm where I see a lot of chaos going on, and I'll explain to you why. But it's sufficient to say it has been a difficult week in the crypto market. And Terrarium has certainly participated in that pretty heavily. So I'm going to start talking about Terrarium, where it's at. I'll talk about the spreadsheet, and then I'll give you my thoughts on what's going on in the crypto community, at least our little crypto bubble. Those of us who kind of follow multiple projects on Twitter and YouTube influencers. I'll give you my thoughts on, kind of where I've been, where I'm at, and what I feel about what's going on. So Terrarium down 18% in the last 24 hours. In the last 7 days, down 46%. Okay, now you could look at that. I mean, there's no positive way to spin it, right? That's absolutely brutal. Now, the question is the drop in price related to all the drama and some of the announcements and things that have taken place this week in the project? Or how much of that can be attributed to the fact that the crypto market basically fell out of bed this week? And what do I mean by that? If we look at the crypto market broadly, give this just a little refresher update, make sure my screen is current, but Bitcoin is down 21% in the last week. Ethereum is down 21%. Big projects like XRP, which is part of the noise this week, down 27%. Solana down 56%. Other major projects that we're all familiar with, you have Kronos down 47%. You've got ApeCoin down 41%. So these are numbers that are comparable to what's going on in the Terrarium project. So some of what's going on in the Terrarium project is probably attributed to the fact that the market absolutely sucks. I don't know any other way to put that. But certainly a portion of it could be attributed to what's going on in the project. So I'm going to jump out, talk about that. I will just briefly show you here in the Terrarium spreadsheet that I keep. The holder count is currently 10,294, losing 28 holders. The market cap is down to 13 million, down over 7 million from last week. So substantial, reflected in the numbers that I just showed, down 40%. The volume's actually been a little bit higher this week, and the tokens burned and the reflections this week, when you have very low price and higher volume, you see more tokens trading, and because the tokens and the tax on the tokens are based on volume, you see a higher level of burn, 14 trillion in this case, and higher levels of reflections. Okay, so let's kind of talk here briefly about what's going on in the Terrarium ecosystem. So earlier this week, we'd have been expecting the Terrarium team to deliver the terapay website. Okay, now back a month ago, we were kind of thinking we were going to see terapay the first part of November. What we've got up to this point is this terapay website. And I've looked through it, and there's a white paper which is affiliated with the token, and that token is what's caused a lot of the argumentative discussion, I guess you could call it, that's happening out in the Twitter sphere. And so I'm not going to dive too deep into this right now, but I'll kind of circle back to this and what my thoughts are on Terapay, the Terra Exchange, and some of those things. But let me talk just a little bit about what's going on in the Twitter space. Now, I think some people think that I'm just completely have my head buried in the sand. People have asked me to weigh in. I know several YouTube content creators, influencers that are also involved in development of other projects that have very passionately come out and, essentially they're down on the Terrarium team for launching another token and for asking for 5,000 ETH to launch that project. So as far as that goes, I don't really know that I have an opinion on it yet. I am going to host an AMA with the Terrarium team this coming Tuesday, and I'm going to be asking them about this. I think it's going to be a tall order, if I'm just being totally transparent and honest, to launch a token in this current environment. Many of us who are speculative investors and are investing in crypto have seen massive depletions in our wallets in general. So it will be interesting to see how that goes. But I'll certainly be asking questions about that in the AMA. As far as why I haven't jumped into the fray, I've been on this train before. Okay, it's been just a little less than a year since another project that I followed very closely, Saitama, had a similar type of situation where they had made several promises and they were having trouble delivering on those promises. And the more I saw that, the more I started to, start to shift on my feelings about the team and them continuously setting deadlines and missing those deadlines and moving the goalpost. And so I started to get a little bit vocal about that, and not even really in a harsh way say, this team needs to deliver on these promises. And at that point, many of the diehards in the community turned on me. And I was very emotionally invested in the project at the time. And I was kind of shocked and had a hard time understanding why something that seemed very logical to me was causing such a visceral reaction in the community. And quite frankly, it wasn't very good for my health. It kind of took me to a very dark place. And, ultimately, I kind of had to walk away from that. And the lesson that I learned is we're investing, right? You want to invest objectively. You want to try to be calculated. And in my personal opinion and my own personal philosophy now, you want to keep your emotions as far away from your money as possible. Because for me, having my emotions involved made me more prone to making poor decisions or taking poor timing. You get tied up in fear and you make a hasty sale, and then, something pops back up and you missed it, and then you're mad because you miss it and you FOMO back in, and then things turn around and it creates a cycle of just, not good results. So I'm fully aware of what's going on. I know the influencers that are involved. These are people that I'm acquainted with. I wouldn't say we're very close friends or that I know them very well, but I've certainly interacted with many of them and have had lots of respect for them in the past. And, I'm not 100% sure why the timing or their motives are what they are. At the same time, I see a development team, whether they feel threatened or they're angry for being attacked, that is kind of lashing out. And quite frankly, that's not my favorite approach either. I think the best way to show people that you mean business, that you're serious, and that you are, honest and in it to win it is to perform. That's really the only way. I mean, if you want to shout down the naysayers, the best way, in my opinion, to do that is to deliver and perform. It's to do something at a high level and to such an extent that the results themselves are pretty much irrefutable. And that's what I would like to see from this development team. I'm not part of that team. I've been sponsored by Terrarium since February, and it's been a good relationship. They've always come through for me in terms of what they said they would do. I've done my best to create objective content. I'm not under any kind of an NDA. I've never been given a playbook, and no one has ever reprimanded me for anything I say. I don't know if this video will be different, but I'm just trying to be objective and honest. So that's why I'm not really going to weigh in or jump in on the fray. I know in my AMAs, people have accused me of being soft. They've accused me of not going on the attack. I try to ask honest, objective questions and get people in an AMA situation to give their honest answers. And in doing so, hopefully that information becomes valuable for people who are prospective investors, and then they can decide based on their own thoughts and feelings whether or not an investment is right for them or not. So don't expect that I'm going to go after people or that I'm going to drag people through the mud. It just really isn't my job. I'm not an investigator. I'm not an interrogator. I'm a content creator offering a platform for people to come and educate people about their product. Of course, I'm willing to take your questions and try to integrate those into that discussion. So please feel free to leave your questions in the comments of this video, and I'll do my best to work those in. All right. Before I show you my reflections, I am going to show you what I think was one of the better tweets of the week by the development team. And that tweet was from Dr. Praveen Budiga. What Dr. Budiga says is, he's calling for a truce, which I would have really liked to see. Since this tweet, there's been some continued fighting. And guys, I've seen this one before, and in my opinion, it doesn't really play out well for anybody. No one really looks better for taking a big argument public. There's people on both sides of this that I've talked to directly and respectfully, and I generally do that in the background because I don't really feel like the whole world needs to see us air our dirty laundry. So Dr. Praveen says, not financial advice, although we as Terrarium team have put in countless hours to bring forward to you and other investors two great tokens, native tokens to the Terra exchange, blockchain is Terapay for the first worldwide crypto to fiat payment gateway. Terapay is a token. The token has exclusivity for the first worldwide exclusive payment gateway in crypto to fiat conversion in its smart contract. Please do your homework and you shall recognize the store value and exponential runway of this token within the Terrarium ecosystem. If people do not believe in the product, then they have the option to not invest. Although name-calling, bullying threats are totally unacceptable in a modern, cultured, and disciplined society, we can always agree to disagree. But basic respect and discipline should exist in our times of innovative technology. The advancements of the past 20 years shall catapult us for centuries, providing that we use tools we invent smartly for advancing mankind and not destroying each other. In conclusion, I want to slightly modify the quote from of a true leader. This is a leader from Dubai. Time is like a flowing river. You cannot step in the same water twice. One of the key principles in life is that every minute of our life is worth fulfilling with accomplishments. Happiness and good deeds for ourselves, as well as the people around us. If you wish to achieve and improve yourself, make the most of every single minute of your life and be a role model to others and your families, since the present and future we live in is for everyone. So it gets a little philosophical here. There is something that he dropped in this tweet that made me think, maybe, there's been a lot of questions as to why roll out another token. I mean, the timing of it, I think it's going to be a tall order. I don't know if I've already said that because this video is getting a little long, but you're in a very difficult market, and it will be interesting to see how people respond to investing in a new speculative token. But in the second tweet, he kind of mentions that this Terapay token has the fiat conversion in its smart contract, and people have questioned, Terrarium was supposed to be the only token. There are people who found old tweets and quotes that essentially say that much from the development team. But we're about 10 months into this, and it is quite possible that the old contract essentially would be inadequate for being the token to transact on within this platform. So I'm interested to get the answers from the team. I'll be asking those questions again. Feel free to leave your questions in the comments of this video, and I'll try to incorporate them. I will post a link in this video to the invitation for the AMA. I invite you all to be there, and hopefully we'll have a good open discussion with respect from people in the audience as well as from the development team. And we'll get the answers that people are looking for to know whether they want to continue investing in this project in the future. So the last thing I want to do, like always, is just give you a quick look at what's going on with Reflections. And you can see here, like I said before, high volume, low price equals higher results when it comes to the burn in Reflections. My current bag is 11,182,842,000,000. It's an increase of almost $1 billion, 960 million from last week, bringing my total since February 21st to 42,863,000,000 at current prices, valued at about $22. So, friends, I hope you're well. I hope you'll take a minute to examine where your priorities lie. These investments, I take them very serious, right? I want to win financially, but I also know that there's things in life that money can't buy, and I've been focused really hard for the last year, for the last 2 years, on what I truly value, and I try to lean on that as a place where I derive my happiness. And fortunately, in times like this, I don't really let this get me down that much. It's disappointing. Nobody likes to lose money, but as far as my happiness and well-being goes, I'm glad and grateful for the people and the blessings that I have in my life. Friends, I hope you're blessed. I hope you're well. Check back with me soon. We'll watch our crypto stacks grow together.